All right, we're on. All right, so I am live and recording with Ajarn Vince Soberano, my mentor, friend, introducer of Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu to me. Just adjusting the screen. That's probably good enough. All right, let's start with the first question. I think it's 1991, 1992, 93, 93, 94 that I came into the gym. Yeah. So I was in the Navy. I just joined. I was in surgical tech school, and I remember it was like an hour and a half bus ride there and back to the base to the gym, but it was so worth it. Um, I started going to the Irish boxing gym, Spud Murphy's. Yeah, and after I was there for a pretty short time, like a week or two, he pulled me aside and he asked if I didn't want to box. I really wanted to kickbox and do Muay Thai, and he said that I got to get in touch with this guy Vince, who he knew, and he's the one who sent me over to Black Tiger. So good old Spud Murphy. I know you Pops, yeah, Pops. That's it. Yeah, not what I call him. I call him Spud. It was Pops. Um, how did you? I forget. You guys, you knew him too. How did you guys know each other? Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. 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 Pops, he was a good guy. Okay. I remember when I got to Black Tiger. Oh, there's a bad echo. I'm echoing. It sounds like it's coming from your side. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I know when I got there, when I finally got to the Black Tiger gym, that day I arrived, you weren't there yet that day, and there was a couple of other guys there, a couple of your students, and they were super nice, introduced me to everything, and then we did some sparring, and I remember being so cocky because I had done American kickboxing, and I had done a lot of years of Jeet Kune Do and a lot of years of karate, and I thought I was pretty badass. At least I thought I could hold my own, and I remember getting in the ring and sparring with these guys, and really, they didn't go overly hard with me or anything, but I mean, just the leg kicks they were giving me were just like I thought I had experienced like what a leg kick was until they started kicking me. And that first day I was in the Black Tiger gym, that was eye opening. Like I had never been kicked like that. So I don't introduce new students in these days to that. But for me at that point in time, it seemed like the right thing at the right time, and it really opened my eyes. And I was totally blown away, and I knew that I had found something that was different, totally different. And then the longer I was there, of course, I came to realize that nobody else was really competing with us, a Black Tiger. So you had a bunch of smokers for us. Like you'd bring in the Kyoshkin guys, and we fought them. We fought in Las Vegas, um, and then down in where was it? Phoenix, the Fairtex guys. Yeah. So do you remember who those guys were? It was two other Filipino guys. One of them was kind of heavier set, and the other one was skinny. They might have been brothers. Okay, yeah, yeah. Both of them were super great. And then, what were the names of the two guys from Kazakhstan, the two brothers, Talgar and Abakir? Yes, yeah, awesome guys. Is Wait, is Jesse? Is he the guy that came in and worked out with us a couple times with Black Tiger? Like he showed us that uh, okay, Rico Sanchez. Okay. Yeah, great guys. I think you and was it Ruben or Chris? I forget. They were. I think it might have been Ruben because The guy I'm remembering was pretty darn buff, and Ruben got into bodybuilding, so it might have been him. Yeah, both of them. When Chris, yeah, but those guys worked with me on boxing a ton, especially the guys from the brothers from Kazakhstan, and I think they also uh, they spent a lot of time teaching me how to like hold pads and how to feed properly, and that's where I really got exposure to becoming a trainer. And then since I was studying to be a corpsman in the Navy, basically a combat medic and everything, it made sense for me to go and become a cut man and a corner man. And then that's where I gained a lot of experience with you guys, being able to train with you guys and corner you guys. So I specifically remember a few distinct fights. I remember you and Melchor Manor. Um, yeah, those were epic fights. Um, and we talked about this last time. It was the Marriott Hotel was one of them. I don't remember there was another one too, but that Marriott Hotel was okay. I only okay. I think I only cornered for two of them. Um, but those were awesome fights, and I, you told me last time that was the first Muay Thai fight in San Diego at the Marriott. And tell that story again because it was funny about the Muay Thai and boxing organization because remember they didn't want to allow it. And that was stick fighting. Yeah. 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 I remember. Yep. Yeah, they freaked out. I remember that. That was a good time. That was a very good time. Uh, yeah, I remember that fight because you and Melchior really went at it, and there was knees and elbows and everything in that fight. I think. I think you guys had elbows too, right? Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that was great. And then we fought Master Toddy's guys in Las Vegas. Those were fun fights. I remember when that happened. I remember I had it down in my head that it was going to be like the next month, not that coming weekend. And then I remember going to training, and it was like I think it was Thursday or Friday, and they were talking about how we're gonna carpool up to Las Vegas on Saturday morning. And I remember looking at Ruben and going, "Wait, that's next month. That's not now." And he was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." And that's all he said to me. And but it turned out to be good. It turned out to be a lot of fun. Although I definitely was not ready for the elevation of Las Vegas. I didn't know it was like what 5,000. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Mhm. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. But it still turned out good though. It, yeah. I had a draw in that fight, and yeah, I think the other guys won. Uh, but the food back then they still had the classic Las Vegas buffets where you could eat like a all you can eat for like $3 or something, and it was crazy, and that was good. But it wasn't so good. Hmm. Yep. And we got back like I think it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's that. Yeah, that's when you dropped me off at the Crazy Girlfriends, and this, what was great. last time we talked, you told me from your point of view what happened, but I had never heard that before, so I'll restate it for everybody else. But basically, Ajarn Vince drops me off at my girlfriend's house in Chula Vista or wherever it was, and ex-girlfriend. Um, and there was a weird car in the driveway, but it wasn't a big deal because she had two other roommates, so I just figured somebody's visiting or something. So I go in there, and the door's locked, which is weird. And then I could clearly hear what was going on in the bedroom. And I still had my Muay Thai shorts on from the fight and like a t-shirt. And I remember teep kicking the door, boom, open. And all I saw was this dude diving through the screen out the door, out the window. Yeah, he threw her right off and dove like he like jumped off the bed. You know the springiness of the bed. He jumped off right through the screen, and then her roommates right at that minute like they came into the room and they pulled me back and calmed me down, sat me in the kitchen, and then we had a nice, actually a okay conversation. But but tell tell the story about what you guys heard. Yeah, I was a little bit. Yeah, those funny funny times. Um, uh, talk a little bit about, you know, we've talked about this before. It was that those couple years there. I was really lucky because I was right there at the explosion of the first, really the real Muay Thai in San Diego that you established, and it was extra fun for me because we just dominated everybody that we brought, everybody we faced. Yeah, and I remember the Kyoshkin guys. You invited those guys in, and they brought, I don't know, five or six or maybe seven fighters, and they all got beat. We beat all those guys. And we had the one tall skinny guy with the ponytail whose name I cannot remember. But I remember he knocked his opponent out. And I think you said that the instructor, that guy became a student of Black Tiger after that, or shortly after. Yeah, good times. And we talked. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a fun time to be there. There was nobody else really doing that. Yeah, yeah. And how many of all the guys of all the old guard there? who all has stuck with it and become a crew under you? There's a pretty good handful. We got Alex. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. How I discovered Alex again is one of my fighters, Azaria Brown. She was the Illinois and the Wisconsin Golden Gloves boxing champion, and she was a huge fan of Tiffany Soest, and uh, and then we didn't realize that Tiffany's trainer was Alex, and then I figured it out, and then I contacted him, and we talked briefly on Facebook, and got back together, kind of like said hello again. But yeah, that was a totally random reconnection. It was good. Oh, yes. Okay, I remember him. Well, Mario too, right? Mario Gajo. Yeah. Um, I remember. I wonder if the training's different too for him. But I remember training in Black Tiger with Mario, and there was a lot of full contact stick fighting, and like we didn't wear helmets or anything. We were always. Yeah, he is. Yeah. And I remember. I think it was right after that the Dog Brothers got big, and I remember watching them and thinking like, yeah, this reminds me of training with Mario. That's exactly how we did it. He was hardcore. Um, so I think we've talked about this before too, but at our gym we've got two Soberano combinations that we call out. So we name all our combinations, and they're all named after the fighters that made them famous. So there was a tall black dude that you fought for an interim title, and I was there. I cornered for that, and I can't remember that guy's name. Tall black guy, yeah. He was a lot bigger than you. At least he looked a lot bigger. But I remember your combo from that fight because that's one of them. It's your fight, Glenn Hudson. That's it. But I remember you constantly backed him up to the ropes, and you would throw this uppercut hook, uppercut hook, uppercut hook, uppercut hook, and then you would switch sides and do the same thing on the other side, and that was that always stuck with me. So I've always taught that combination ever since then. And then of course the first one you ever taught me was um, the low kick, and then they check it, and then the really low kick where you go right, either through the bottom of the leg, just cut right through it, or go under it. And yeah, Yeah, but I don't know. It's hard to explain to people who don't do Muay Thai the difference between like a regular kickboxing kick or a taekwondo karate kick to compare to the Muay Thai kick, which will just like fold the bag in half. And I see a lot of karate guys like they'll post pictures of them kicking the bag and folding the bag in half and stuff. Um, but it's just like, yeah, it was totally different. It was totally different power, totally different application. It just was so amazing, especially back then. It was so eye opening. And I remember I got there one night and I was disappointed because there was only like I think two or three people there that night. It was kind of late, but you wanted to get some sparring rounds in, so we sparred. And I remember you telling me you're like, okay, you, you said you said, oh, your leg kick's getting a lot better. But now I'm gonna hit you with 5 left hooks. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, sure. I'm not gonna let it happen. And then it was like you were like, pow, left hook, and then you were like, 3, 2, 1, boom, little left hook. And I just remember, I just remember the feeling of helplessness maneuvering around. That stuck with me a lot too. Um, but I just remember it so fondly as like all these little moments of Black Tiger of where you have those aha moments and you're like your eyes are open and you're like, oh, I've got so far to go. I was so cocky and I don't know anything at all. It was great. Yeah, really fun. Um, talk about the fights that went to in Phoenix. I think it was yeah, it was Phoenix. Arizona. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, very fancy. But they didn't win. Yep. Yeah, that was awesome. Um, what else? Oh, I definitely want to mention that not only did you really, get me started in Muay Thai, but you also introduced me to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And I remember you coming back to the gym a couple days, and we did some clinch work, and then you combined that with a takedown and like a mount and an arm bar or a figure four, and I remember that was another aha eye-opening moment. Like, wow, like this is really hard to stop, and like your positioning was so good. So tell me again, like how did you get into how did you discover and get into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu? Yeah. 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 Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Carlos Avelin. Yep. Yep. My, with with your recommendation, yeah. Yeah. Yep. 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 That was my introduction to it, and then I think I had two private lessons with Nelson Montero, which you said was good, and then that was really far away though. It was like an extra hour from the base, past you guys. For me, because I had to take the bus, yeah, and there's so many stops. So I found Carlos Avelin, and I remember Carlos was a purple belt, and I thought, oh, man, I wrestled in grade school and stuff, and done a lot of Jeet Kune Do, and a lot of my Jeet Kune Do training was with Larry Hartsell, who specializes in grappling and submissions. I thought, and basically, I didn't realize till later that it wasn't what I thought it was. But um, I was once again way too cocky, and I thought I'm gonna go in there and wrestle this purple belt. And I remember Carlos just, my God, he thrashed me so good, gently. It was the gentle art, but he just choked me over and over and over and over. And then he would say, "Okay, I'm only going to do an arm bar on your right arm only." And then he would like you with your left hook. He would do that over and over and over and over. So I became the student of Carlos too, and I was doing Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu at the same time. Um, and and then I remember thinking like, man, like the perfect marriage for martial arts is we've got to combine, we got to properly combine jiu-jitsu, Brazilian Gracie Jiu-Jitsu with Muay Thai, and that's when we founded the Hand-to-Hand Combat Club on base, and then we had that big seminar. Yeah, I brought you in for the seminar, and then Carlos was also there. I think that's when you met Carlos, um, and then it just kind of exploded from there, um, and went on. But let's talk about some other stuff outside, just some friend stuff. So I remember hanging out with you quite a bit, and I remember the first time I was ever at your house. I remember teasing you because I happened to see your closet, and you had all your clothes hung exactly 1 inch apart, military style, boot camp military style. Yeah, are you still doing that? But I remember that. Yeah, yeah. I don't have that military habit anymore either. Not at all. And I remember, yeah, yep. I remember a couple stories from um, when you were in the military, but we'll skip those because it was it was it was funny stuff. But I also remember going to a lot of different. You were in a lot of plays back then, so this is obviously you were really getting into acting and stuff back then. And I remember the one play. You reminded me of the name last time we talked. It was Beirut. It was like an advanced sci-fi play, but it was about like an apocalypse with HIV, AIDS, and in that play you actually got butt naked in front of everybody, and that was impressive, impressive. Yep, that was brave, and I remember thinking like, man, I don't know if I could act and do that. He's bravery. And then now, how many movies have you been in, and how many have you directed? I mean, it's quite a few because I the first one I knew about was it was the one before you were supposed to do a movie with Lou Diamond Phillips, but that I think I don't know if that one panned out, but there was one before that that you were in. I think that's where you made your content. Okay, yeah, but I remember those, and I remember being impressed by those. So how many have you been in now? Yeah. Okay, that's a lot more than I thought. I thought you directed like five, 4 or 5. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Are those are they mainly Chinese and Filipino movies? Is that why we haven't? Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to look. I'll start finding them, but the last like 2 or 3, I think the last 3, those have been getting a lot of attention. Like you've won a lot of like awards and stuff for those films for yeah. Yeah. Those are the ones that I saw, and I watched all the previews and trailers for those. Okay. You're super busy, and uh, you did the Ultimate Fighter, UFC Ultimate Fighter in China. That's a big deal. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. did did Dana? Yeah. Those- Nice. Well, yeah. And that's fun. Um, so you've got some big names from China and Black Tiger, the Leech, Mongolian Wolf, Zhang. Who are some other names that we should look out for, up and coming, that you think are really going to make it to the main stage? Okay. Well, we'll definitely be watching them for sure. Uh, title shots? Title shots coming up? Yeah, that's a stacked division. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Dana's thrilled. Do you feel like you're getting a lot of support from Dana and UFC? Like, are they easy to deal with, or is everything difficult, or how is it really? Sure. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I I'm surprised. Like she's really good. She has a lot of support from the U.S. Like she instantly got a huge fan base. Like yeah. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. Doesn't have time for it. Yeah, she's a good inspirational example because she actually lost her first match and just just kept on going and going and going, and now she's the champion. Yeah, so many people get discouraged when they lose, but they shouldn't even consider it twice. Just think about what you want to do differently and keep going. Right. Yep. It's pretty cool. Well, we're gonna keep an eye on her name and look for her for sure. So just like yeah, yeah, I can see that with him definitely. Um, I think he'll have a title shot in another fight or two. Yeah, yeah, he's good. What about the Mongolian Wolf? He's done, huh? Oh, okay, okay, okay. So he just he worked. That's interesting. Um, yeah. So I mean, Black Tiger really was at the explosion of MMA and definitely Muay Thai in San Diego during those formative years. And now you're in the same situation in China. Like you're right there. MMA is starting to explode. There's all kinds of awesome YouTube videos of kung fu masters getting their butts whipped by MMA guys, and it's sort of like that's become a big thing on YouTube. Do you guys do you did you experience any of that? Yes. I mean, it's rude to go out and do that for no good reason, but it seems like a lot of these fights are done after challenges and stuff. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Well, that's good stuff. We're an hour and 8 minutes. My computer's gonna max out data here pretty soon. Um, is there anything else we should? You should. Oh, well, you got to plug your book. Plug your book about fitness and being 50, because I remember you've always been in great shape. You had a job for a while doing like computer programming or something, and you like got out of shape a little bit, and then you got right back into ripped shape. And so, what's your book about, and how do you, and what kind of diet do you do? Do you do like low carb, keto? What are you doing? Yeah, Right. So what's your diet? Yeah. Yeah. No, no, no more Las Vegas buffets. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So really, you're really a careful calorie counter. You're watching proportions. Okay. Yeah, I miss the problem. I miss the problem of being too skinny. Yeah, yeah, it was. It was pretty funny. Yeah. Mhm. I want to thank you, Arjan, for starting me on the whole Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu journey. And I wouldn't be a black belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu today. I wouldn't be a crew in Muay Thai. I wouldn't have students that I really admire and love to watch. My children wouldn't be involved. I mean, you really started me on a journey, and I thank you for that. And I'm looking forward to the next several years. And thanks for doing the interview too. Good times talking about the. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll stay in touch, and thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. All right, brother. Bye.